Namaste, friends. Today I wish to talk about matching, basically for marriage, especially. A friend of mine had come and he was inquiring what is the method that I use for checking compatibility for marriage matching. And I take this from one of the best authors, Jaya Sekhar, whose book The Best Bet gives a clear map of how it is done. So I made an Excel out of it, and that's what I am using for matching pairs. So this is how it works. So the best bet actually groups uh, the compatibility check into what are called groups. In group 1, it has 36 units, group 2 has 12 units, and group 3 has 10 units, and totally it has 58 units, of which you can group 1 is for checking the practical patterns, where each group is made up of multiple petals like a lotus. So group 2 has karmic patterns, and that's very important. Karmic pattern, he calls it as petal 1, and that comes from the Mars's position, and that's given a high value of 6 units. And petal 2, which is a part of more of a practical nature, that comes into group 1, checks for the spiritual harmony between the couple, and these are the Raju, Nadi, and Gana matching that is normal in our general matching patterns that we already know, and these are accounted for in the spiritual harmony. And when these also carry quite a good weightage. Each of these carry 4 units of weightage, so totally it turns out to be 12 units of weightage. And even in the petal 2, the psychological harmony is given 12 units again, and that is based upon either the nakshatra or the position of the moon based upon the Rasi Lord, or the Vashya, which are based more on the Rasi side. Whereas on the nakshatra side, we have the Stri Dirgha, and all these cyan colored items come under the psychological harmony. This is as regards the petal 2. Petal 3 is more on the physical side of the harmony, material and physical side, and this again carries 12 units, out of which the Veda, the Dina, Mahendra, and Yoni are clubbed together, and you can read what all these are. These are all common, but the grouping is what is special about it, and the units that are given are peculiar to this particular author, who has done a wonderful job, and that I have made it as an Excel for easy grasping for us here. So, and group 3 as the planetary cycles, whether it talks about the future situations, and also the anyonya, which is the mutual understanding. So this can be not only for marriage matching, it can also be applied for business partnership, employer relationship, guru shishya relationship, and same sex relationship, he says. But essentially I use it for checking for marriage compatibility. So how the Excel works is what I'm going to show you here. Essentially I have this is the final sheet. You don't have to, you just need to enter the name of the boy and the girl here. You don't have to do anything here. You come back here last. So let me show how the petals are calculated. The petal 1, you need to enter the name of the person again here. The user input is given in this color. I have in fact protected by password the rest of the items. So you need to only enter where the sun is. A lot of manual inputs are there. I have to automate it with that has to be done later. I have not done it, but still I'm sharing it as it is. So, but it should not be a big tough exercise. You just, if you know the Jataka, the chart of the boy and the girl, you just enter where Surya is in which Rasi, Saturn is in which Rasi, Rahu, Ketu, and Mars to find out essentially the petal 1 of karmic patterns here. So you also have to identify where the lagna is, and whether what is the planet position, whether the sun is in what is the dignity of the planet, is it in own sign or Mula Trikona sign and all that. The rest of the calculations are taken care as per the book. You also have to identify where the moon is and where the Venus is in both the male chart as well as the female chart. So you have to give user input only for this color. Then the number based upon these calculations is listed out as per the book, and you see 546 is the dosha for the boy and 338 for the dosha for the girl in this case, and the ratio of these two should not exceed 2. So that there are different marks given there in the book, and I am followed that best bet units that it scores. So in case you need to check the formulas, you can in fact open the password. It is Petals itself, Petals with capital P. I just gave the protection because unnecessarily we might change something which might screw up all the calculations. So in case you want to open it, you can use the password and do it as well. In case you want to understand how the scores are made. Normally, if the ratio is between 1 to 0.75, you get a very good score of 6, the ratio between these two. If it is between 0.75 to 0.5, you don't get any, it is 0. And if it is even less than 0.5, that means it's wide apart, then it gets a negative score here. So this is one petal. The next petal is petal 1 here, which is more important. That's why it's put in petal 1, is the karmic pattern arising out of Mars dosha. So here Mars, if it is in the second or the fourth from the ascendant of the moon or Venus, then if for the male and the female, if that is true, it becomes red. So that means 30% dosha is there. If Mars is in 17812 from ascendant moon and or Venus, this is only 2 or 4, one of them. Here from multiple. So when you can read what these are, and the percentage keeps on going up. And we have to basically check if the doshas, in this case, for instance, male has 60% dosha, the female has maximum dosha 40%, and therefore the 60 to 40, which is a difference of 20%. So there is some agreement. Again, here also the score is negative if the agreement is too bad, and it is 0 if it is just okay, and things like that. Okay, if you want to check the calculations, as I said, you remove the password and check the calculations. So that is the final result that it gets and puts on the marks. So these petal 1 and 4 are thus calculated. You come over here, which is the group 1, as I said, which takes care of the spiritual harmony, the psychological and the physical part of it. You have to essentially, I just copied this calculation from one open source calculation available directly, so I did not repeat it. So you have to choose again the boy star and the girl star here, and the rest are computed by the system. And this is the 10 Varuthams that we call in Tamil, but then here it's not exactly 10, it is in fact more than that. 1, 2, 3 here, 4, 5, 6 and 7 here, 8, 9, 10 and 11 here. So it will be one extra here, because normally the Tamil version misses out on either Veda or something like that. So everything is accounted for here. So that is the score put in here. So the only entry is only the star of the two people. So then the petal 5 and 6, to get this I need to know the dasha systems. I am not calculating dashas here. What I do is I just go to essentially Jagannatha Hora, and then suppose you cast the chart for the boy, you come over here, right click here, then copy just the dates, copy to clipboard only the dates, then come over to this red symbol here, right click and paste. And then if you are going to paste it, it will have to be divided into columns, text to columns. So use the text to columns and use the delimiter and use space as the delimiter. Keep on pressing next, and then it will similarly do it for the girl as well. And you also enter the date of the birth of the boy, so that the plot between the how the dashas overlap or not, when this is the second dasha, the dasha is 2 for the girl, whereas the sixth dasha running for the boy. The 1, 2, 3 meaning, I think, Ketu, the Vimshotri order. So the Vimshotri order is going to be different for the boy and the girl. There is totally no overlap. So that's good. So there will be a good score for this pair. So that way, this cyan color is the output that is finally taken to the final sheet. Your input is only this color and this red color. And this is this petal 6, which takes care of the mutual positions. Since you had already given Sun, Moon, Mars position before, and that of Venus also before, we don't carry it again. But Jupiter we have not given before. So that is taken care as an input here. You have to give where Jupiter's sign is, and in the board 2 cases, a boy and the girl, and the rest are calculated by the system, and it puts in a score where the anyonya between the two, the mutual positions of the two, is scored as per the book. And all these scores are carried over to the final sheet, where you, based upon these groups, you, for the practical patterns, what is the score, for the karmic patterns, what is the score, for the future patterns, what is the score, and it puts in a percentage as such. And you have a grand total, as well as where the lack is. There is a temperamental and erratic nature. There is no unit scored here. So it will be a daily fight between the couple. Karmic content is also, there is no score. Therefore, that is also problematic for this case. There is a future situation and mutual understanding are good. So altogether, it's a grand total of 53. I would think around 60 would be a good score. Above 50 is okay, but yeah, that's where I normally 60, 70 I would like to go for. Especially if karmic content is not scoring, I'll be very unhappy with it. So this is the tool that I use. Hopefully you will also find it useful. Only thing is, you will have to give a lot of input, which I will slowly maybe in the future releases want to try out and change all that. But as of now, since this is already ready, I thought I will share this with you. Try to use it and see if it works well. You can also buy the book Best Bet by Sri Jaya Sekhar. That's a wonderful book. Okay, thank you.